Well, what a pleasure. I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by Orlando Chief of Police, Chief Mina. Chief Mina, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks ever so much indeed for coming to talk to us today. We appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
Now, we're talking about the Critical Issues Forum today. Give us an insight. What is the Critical Issues Forum?
Well, it's basically a chance for me and the other people on the panel to kind of impart some of our knowledge, lessons learned from the critical incidents that we were involved with, and ours particularly. I know a lot of people want to hear about the shooting at the Pulse nightclub, horrific tragedy in our community that I think many people in law enforcement from around the world can learn from some of our experiences.
Now, you say about your own particular experience, it was headline news all over the world, wasn't it? So
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people will want to know what lessons you learned from it. So what are some of the lessons you learned?
Well, there were several takeaways, and ever since 9/11, ever since Columbine, our department has been training for active shooter type situations, but we've also done a really good job of training in a multi-jurisdictional fashion. So all the other agencies around our area were involved in this training. We all trained the same. We had trained together in some big mass shooting type situations. We just did one a few months before that. So I think as a whole, the region was as prepared as anyone could have been for an incident like that. And certainly, probably no amount of training, knowledge, or experience could ever prepare you for what we faced that night. But I felt that we had been doing that training for many, many years, and we were as prepared as we could have been.
Okay. Now, one of the big issues this week is about policing in the community. In fact, it's one of the biggest issues around the world at the moment. So, what lessons did you learn? What were the implications, if you like, with your shooting? How you reacted to it and the community?
Right. Well, I will say this: we had a huge outpouring of support from our community, and as many people know, at the Pulse nightclub shooting, there's an LGBT nightclub, and it was also a Hispanic theme that night. So there were two separate communities in one that were drastically affected. So not only was the LGBTQ community affected and the Hispanic community affected, so those people there, but the entire community rallied around those two communities and the police department. We had huge showing of support, and I think when the stories came out and the bravery, the courage, and the compassion of our officers, our community just formed with us together and really bonded with us, and they continue to show great support. So we're very thankful for the community we live in.
Finally, coming back to the forum, the Critical Issues Forum, what are you hoping to achieve from the forum?
Right, I believe it's our responsibility as law enforcement leaders to pass along our knowledge, our training, our experience to others. And certainly people want to know about this incident. They want to know what went right and what went wrong. So I believe that's our responsibility to tell the law enforcement world, this is what we did, this is what we could have done better, this is what we did good. If this ever happens in your community, God forbid, these are the things that you need to do moving forward.
Well, best of luck with that, and thank you ever so much for coming
Absolutely.
to talk to us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.